bridle and tried hard. She went straight up to Beautiful Gem. Not terribly big, but she's got plenty of ticker about her. And she stretched Beautiful Gem to beat it about a short head in the run to the post. 410 and 180, 170 and $3. 410, 180, 170 and $3. 690 Quinella, 1830 Exacta, 1830 for 4 and 1. Trifecta 419, 114.90, 114.90, 419.
And the time there for the 1200 one, 12.30, recorded by Lady Diva. Now, in the next, it's the main race today, the Victoria Handicap over 1400. The scratchings are 8-0 Drama, 11 Infinite Grace, 13 Tarcoola Diamond and 15 Cape Kennedy. And the important jockey change is that number 1 Mr Murphy will now be ridden by Brian Werner. That's a replacement for.
And we've got 4 to load. Skittles coming up. Only Words in line for its 4th successive win. Utzon 4 from 4. Only Words has won 4 from 5. Now Regal Thrills about to walk up into the stalls with the aid of a gateman ridden by Damien Oliver. Is Veronica Ruffy. Is Ronnie's sister. So there's 2 to move into line. Here is Veronica and Mag Sayer. And the pool is pretty good, 466,781. That'll jump considerably in the next 30 seconds or so. As the last and the last horse is Mag Sayer in gate number 10. And Mag Sayer just short of the line at the moment. Inside runner Only Words, second pick Utzon in gate 2. Now Mag Sayer is in and attended with Mag Sayer, and they're set to go in the South Pacific Classic, the San Miguel South Pacific Classic, 1400 metres. Light on. Utzon sits back. They're racing. And Pont de Garde immediately goes out to last, and Skittles straight to the early lead. Jumping well the Victorian Carhuita, followed on the inside by the favourite Only Words. Utzon not far away. The same for Santissimar, and a length and a half further back, Face Value, followed by Is Veronica Pont du Gard. Regal Thrills second last, and Mag Sayer wide and last. Onto the course proper at the 1000, and Carhuita goes to the lead, about 3/4 of a length on Skittles, a length and a half to Only Words. Parked over on the inside of the stablemate Santissimar is Veronica wide out as they slow up around the outside. Mag Sayer followed by Face Value. Utzon on the inside from Pont du Gard, and Regal Thrills is last. Only about 7 lengths between first and last as they gallop down to the 600, and Carhuita about a half to 3/4 of a length on Skittles. Then Santissimar, Only Words nearer to the inside. Wider is Veronica. Deeper still is Mag Sayer. Utzon over on the inside from Face Value, and then Regal Thrills, and 2 lengths further back is Pont du Gard. They're coming into the straight now, and up the rise Skittles draws to Carhuita to head it off. Santissimar, Only Words on the inside of Carhuita and Skittles, and near enough to the rails Utzon. Santissimar coming down the outer with Mag Sayer. Only Words only about 2 off the inside. She accelerates, and this talented filly raced away from Skittles and Carhuita, and Only Words makes it 4 in a row. Utzon late for second, but it's Only Words from Utzon. Very close third, Carhuita in company with Skittles, and Santissimar's Face Value followed home then by on nearer to the inside Pont du Gard, wider out Mag Sayer. Regal Thrills in company with Is Veronica, the last couple. Oh, she's a very, very good filly. Now she's come through only about 2 or 3 off the inside rail, so I don't know whether there's any real problem with the track. 2, 3 away from the inside rail. Well, she made it 4 straight now, and 5 from 6. Very, very smart end-sweep filly out of What Can I Say, who was a very, very good mare. I remember her winning a race in the wet weight for age race one day at Warwick Farm. And trained by John Hawkes for the Canning Down Stud Syndicate, managed by J.M. Barnes and Mrs. J. Mackay. And as we have commented, watching Only Words in recent starts, it brings back memories of Tails, the same colours, the great horse Tails, the charismatic Tails. 7 the winner, and that is Only Words, ridden by Rod Quinn. Number 2 is second, and that is Utzon, got home late. And he was over near with Only Words. He's by Nothing Like a Dane from Ivory Rose. I believe he's going to go for a spell now. Lesbridge, Brad Pengelly. And it's very, very close for the third here. Skittles and Carhuita, I think from memory, were the two involved there. But in that order, who knows? Whatever. Very, very tight. Toss up for third, 4 Carhuita and 3 Skittles, 3 and 4. So, Only Words has clocked up 1 minute 22.89 in winning the South Pacific Classic, and it's only about about a half second outside Beat the Fade's race record. Now, here we go. Number 4, Carhuita, is third, ridden by Stephen King. Is by Costa de Lago, trained by Steve Richards at Flemington. And number 3 ran fourth, and that was Skittles. 7-2-4-3 on the South Pacific and the Tote Divvies. Number 7, 2.30 and 1.40. Number 2, $1.80. Number 4, $5.90.
Right, Ian, all the other dividends displayed there, but the first 4 I can tell you on 7243, $531.60. And next at Randwick, it's the Heroic Championship for the 2-year-olds. Alingi comes up at $1.30. Good 2-year-old race, and we'll see if she can bounce back after her defeat in the Golden Slipper. Let's update the race for you. The Heroic, Alingi is our top rater from Crimson Rain, Dabkey Dancer and Public Opinion, 8, 9, 4 and 1. Public Opinion won the Melbourne version of this race a few months back, the Inglis Classic at Flemington. He's a Queenslander, $20, but Alingi is the firm pick early, $1.30 New South Wales. Super Tab, she opens at $1.10. The race in about half an hour. Crimson Rain, Faster Pussycat there at 14, so a few of these horses backing up after the slipper, and segments of $15 chance. We'll keep you posted as we get closer to post time. Right, now at Oakbank, they're at the start for the Country Cup on the flat. Lungtar number 6 at $1.80 is all the rage. On the previous at Eagle Farm, 5-2-11-9, Lord Rupert was fourth. The New South Wales first 4 paid $1,063.10. 1063.10. Now at Oakbank,
Rider goes up. Here's Tail Light. Tail Light's had 2 starts here for 2/3. Tail Light ran third in the Country Cup 3 years ago. So he's been around for a while, Tail Light, and he's a bit of a tip on track. He's in all white. Griswold comes forward, the Port Lincoln Cup winner. And that will leave one other to move in. Capacity Field of 16 to run in the Country Cup. Red Paddy ran 9th last year. He hit the lead on the turn. Tertian's Gamble completes the line. They're ready to run. Stand well. Marlborough Girl Towie, they're racing. Griswold out the back by design from Lindop, or rather McKechnie. And first away was Dancing Lass, showing good speed. Classical Rock, Como Prince booting up. Go Spider will go and look for the lead though. He's pressing on the grey. They get across in front of Blackjack, Molly Dolly. And Red Paddy's caught out very wide at the 1600 metre corner. Then Rangatunga being followed by Portland House, and further back on the inside, Love and Trust. Tertian's Gamble towards the rear there as they head over behind the hill. Back in the field now was Marlborough Girl. Griswold is behind Rangatunga towards the tail, and last is Lungtar up on the outside. Now Red Paddy worked hard to work around the outside, and he crosses down to the rail to lead by a length to Go Spider. Third Dancing Lass, and wide out was Blackjack around Classical Rock with Como Prince tucked away on the rails. A half length to Tail Light from Tertian's Gamble. In the centre was Molly Dolly, and over on the inside was Headache. It's running about 12th. Then came Marlborough Girl from Portland House, Rangatunga, Love and Trust, Lungtar, and Griswold is last. There's a bit of speed on now as Go Spider goes up to Red Paddy as they come by the 800 metres in the Country Cup. 2 lengths away, Blackjack. On the inside was Dancing Lass, a length to Classical Rock. Tail Light, Como Prince. Tertian's Gamble was deep. Wider still, Marlborough Girl, Echo Bound, or rather in the centre there was Molly Dolly. On the inside was Headache, and further back to Portland House, followed by Rangatunga. Then Lungtar, she's giving the leaders about 10 lengths from Love and Trust, and Griswold last on the inside as Go Spider race to the lead. Go Spider now leads Blackjack a length. Tail Light coming at them. Then Classical Rock. Como Prince sticks to the inside with Dancing Lass from the tail of the field, starting to run on fairly well. Lungtar at the 200. Tail Light, Go Spider, Blackjack, Classical Rock. They're across the track. Tail Light, Classical Rock. Lungtar with a late close. It's Tail Light, Classical Rock in a driving finish. Classical Rock Classical Rock beat Tail Light and Neck. Third goes Spider. Lungtar came from the tail of the field near enough to make up a lot of ground, but came late. Followed by Dancing Lass and Como Prince with Headache. Molly Dolly from Love and Trust. Followed in by Black Jack Griswold. Then Marlborough Girl, Tertian's Gamble, Red Paddy and Portland House was one of the last in. Classical Rock, number 8, ridden by Jason Lyon. Not a noted winner, and we have been critical of this horse in some of his runs, but today, when he needed to, he's put it all together. And he's got the money. Classical Rock, number 8, Jason Lyon for Mark Minervini. Will beat Tail Light. Some big bets were landed on or made on Tail Light. And it'll go down. Go Spider will be third. Number 5, and Lungtar came from the back, but she left it late. Potter rode her quietly. She just couldn't pick up that ground. She was forced wide to get into the race. She was always going to be back, but it was just too much of a gap. 8, 15, 5 and 6 they'll be on the Country Cup. So we head to a very good race, the Adelaide Bank Onkaparinga Cup. What a great field. The listed race over 21.50, 2.45 local.
Yes, that will be terrific to see, the Onkaparinga Cup, as will the Great Eastern Steeplechase, a real spectacle, and that one follows. So races 6 and 7, a lot of interest at Oakbank. Classical Rock there over Tail Light and Go Spider, 8, 15 and 5 on the 5th at Oakbank. Caulfield, and riders are up at Caulfield. They're about to head out for the Victoria Handicap over 1,400 metres. A good race. Here's Andrew with the latest news from the track.
Terrific lineup here. Debrief has won this race for its last 2 years. 55.5 today for Greg Childs. Lots of hopes, but I'm going to stick with the numbers of 3, 10, 9 and 2. Regal Roller, the expected leader in the race, loves Caulfield. Could control it here. Luke Curry from its in-try draw. Drops a couple of kilos after its defeat last time behind Debrief. It got galloped on its hind leg on that occasion, but obviously has recovered well for trainer Clinton McDonald. But I just think Luke will be able to dictate terms here. 3, Regal Roller. 10, Royal Sash, as we've heard from Shannon Hope, has been freshened up by him out at Kilmore, and she's really done extremely well. Looks very bright, very healthy in condition. The coat's really in very good shape, and I do expect it to bounce back here. And as we heard from Shannon, really nicely drawn to Royal Sash. The others to include a Red Hannigan. They put the blinkers on again for Lee Friedman, having its 3rd start back. 2 runs have been okay, and it's going to be very close around the mark. And Debrief, very consistent type from its draw. Again, it'll be able to sit on the pace and have that nice run at them at the end. 3, 10, 9 and 2 going with Regal Roller, but I will say that Royal Sash does look very healthy and very good in the mounting yard. 5 minutes away, let's have a look at on and off track activity for you. Mr. Murphy, right on the mark, on and off track. Debrief, Drifter on track, very close though between on and off, but has drifted. Regal Roller, Drifter on track, is under what they're betting on track at the moment at $4 on the tote. Monaghan Tweed, now it's got out to double figure odds. This is the one that I just couldn't find a slot for it. Its form's been very, very consistent. Good value to tote. Force Apollo, on and off track, not a lot of difference. Generalissimo, good value to tote, number 7. Red Hannigan, Drifter on track, not a lot between on and off. Royal Sash, really tightening the tote now into 860 on my screen. Very close. On
Handicap. Line good. Racing. Left in a good line too. One of the first away here. Regal Roller bounced in front from Debrief, and further out here is Royal Sash. Wider on the track is Monaghan Tweed, followed further out by Mr. Murphy and Ashkelonte just off them when they settle into stride, and Regal Roller led Monaghan Tweed outside him, 1.5 lengths, Mr. Murphy. 1 further back, then Royal Sash, 1 length into Ashkelonte. 2.5 then to Red Hannigan over on the inside of Debrief. 2 or 3 to Bird Dancer outside at El Nino. 3 to Force Apollo, 2 to Generalissimo. Coming down the side, inside the 1,000, Regal Roller just backing the speed off a little. 1/2 to Monaghan Tweed, 2.5 to Mr. Murphy. Royal Sash is 4th the fence, 1.5 lengths to Ashkelonte. 2 or 3 Red Hannigan on the inside of Debrief. 2 lengths to Bird Dancer, a half El Nino. 2 to Force Apollo and 2 to Generalissimo. Up to the 650 metre mark they race, and it's Regal Roller. 3/4 in front of Monaghan Tweed. 2 then to Royal Sash. Outside him, Mr. Murphy. 2 to Ashkelonte. 1 Red Hannigan. A length to Brief, Bird Dancer, Force Apollo, El Nino and Generalissimo 2 lengths off last of all. First for home is Regal Roller by a length and a half to Monaghan Tweed. Royal Sash over on the inside trying to get out. Further back, Mr. Murphy under some pressure from Red Hannigan. Regal Roller down inside the 200, 2 in front from Monaghan Tweed out wide as Bird Dancer. Regal Roller going boldly at the 100 metre mark. He's in no danger. He's 3 in front of Bird Dancer and Red Hannigan. Regal Roller all the way, a brilliant win by 2 3/4 to Bird Dancer, a length and a half third Red Hannigan. They're followed further back by Monaghan Tweed and Royal Sash, a gap to Mr. Murphy. Well back Ashkelonte. Debrief never came into it from Generalissimo, and El Nino was last of all. All the way for Regal Roller, number 3. Number 3, Regal Roller, rolling freely in front, which what he really is good at. And he's had a deserved win in the Group 3 Victoria Handicap. He's won easily from number 12, Bird Dancer, and third is number 9, Red Hannigan, 3, 12 and 9 in 1:22.69. A good gallop, 1:22.69. Regal Roller controlling the race in front and getting away from Monaghan Tweed when they turn for home. And he's had a good win. 3, 12, 9 and 4. 3, 12, 9 and 4.
All right, good to see the Clinton McDonald stable getting a feature winner today, with Regal Roller taking out the Victoria Handicap. His prize money prior to today was $235,000. That race was worth $125,000 overall. A good race to win. That's the 5th. We'll the next at Caulfield, race 6. Let's have a look here. We've got 8 Name Dropper, 11 Super Boom and 12 Batiro as the scratchings. 8, 11 and 12, leaving a field of 10 to go around. And there are no jockey changes in the Brighton Handicap next at Caulfield. There's Regal Roller kicking away to beat Bird Dancer in the run to the line. On what has been an improving day for punters. The first winner was 100 to 1 at Caulfield, but the last 3 winners have all been well in the market, so things are getting better after a blowout early on. Race 6 at Eagle Farm, they're heading out. Algorithm number 1, 2, 3, 4, equal top raters. This is the Yonka Paringa Cup, and it's due in 11 minutes. It's a very open race. Pipkin at 5.10 looks to be the top pick. Bella Senor, Little Nico and Honor are all chances there. And of the rest, best of the rest, there's a couple there at 20, 11 and 12. Race 6 at Oakbank. All right, they are calling them in at Randwick. Lingy at $1.30, coming off the Golden Slipper Stakes 9 days ago, where she ran third behind Dance Zero. She had the wide barrier, she covered plenty of ground. She was a little bit unlucky. Take nothing away from Dance Zero, of course, who's come out and won the size produce since. But she's a top filly. She's won 4 out of 5. The only time she was beaten was in the Slipper. She's won the Blue Diamond, the Riesling Slipper Trial. She's a very good filly. All right, they're calling them in. We don't have the legal right to telecast the Randwick races today, but with the call of race 5, here's Ian.
Now the horses are moving in particularly well for the William Inglis Heroic Championship over the 1,300 metres. And repeating the news that Alingi is $1.30. $1.30. Now, the last few horses are being finalised. Faster Pussycat moves in with the barrier blanket. Crimson Rain and Gold Pied to come up to the gates. Gold Pied, a stablemate of Conrad Strait, is in, and Crimson Rain with an awkward draw here, only a shortish run to the first corner. And here's Crimson Rain walking in now. Becoming overcast at Randwick. Very, very big crowd. The AJC would be absolutely delighted. We'll have the figure, I'd imagine, before the last. Now the red light is on, and we're all set for the William Inglis Heroic. Line steadies down. Gates are back and they're off. That was a lovely start. Crimson Rain wide out, one of the best to break the line, commencing well segment. Right up there is Gold Pied in company with Conrod Straight. And then Corniche, nice and handy, a Lingy, a length and a half to Public Opinion. Faster Pussycat, Holodazzle, followed by Dabkey Dancer on the inside. And well back in the run is Aqualuna as they sort themselves out with Mind the Step and Commandments. Above Deck is fifth last. They work their way down towards the 800. And Gold Pied shows the way. About 3/4 on Crimson Rain. 2 lengths away, third on the inside is Conrod Straight, shading segments. A length and a half, Corniche, Public Opinion. Between horses, a Lingy. A length further back, Dabkey Dancer, Holodazzle, Above Deck. Followed then by Mind the Step and Aqualuna. Second last, Faster Pussycat as they come to the home corner. And a length, the Commandments. They're on the swing now in the Heroic. And the leader, Gold Pied. Right ahead, a peep over the right shoulder. Crimson Rain joined it and headed it on the outside segments. And then comes on the inside, Conrod Straight. Now let's look for a Lingy. Here she comes, about 4 off the rail. She's after Crimson Rain. Commandments wide out. A Lingy lengthening stride. Pegs back Crimson Rain. Crimson Rain still in front. A Lingy can't catch her. Crimson Rain is safely holding the Victorian. And Crimson Rain wins the Heroic. A Lingy second. Commandments third. Then Public Opinion segments followed by Above Deck, Holodazzle, Mind the Step, Corniche. And then came Dabkey Dancer, Aqualuna, Gold Pied. Faster Pussycat and tailed off was Conrod Straight. She was too good. Beat the Victorian fair and square. Fair and square as Radio rejoins us. The win of Crimson Rain. No excuses seemingly for a Lingy. Crimson Rain drew out near the Uni of New South Wales. She jumped well and a Lingy had a perfect run, but Crimson Rain outplugged her. Maybe the Victorian filly has had enough. And Crimson Rain has won the Heroic and won it very, very convincingly. 9, 8, 16 and 1. Crimson Rain, trained by Bruce McLaughlin for the Torreyburn Stud Syndicate by Red Ransom from Crimson Road, Corey Brown. Number 8, second to Lingy by Encosta de Lago from Ocean Fast. Brown filly, a 2-year-old, Lee Friedman, Damien Oliver. And number 16, Commandments. Great run, third. From last on the turn, near enough to it, by Mr. Henry C. A 2-year-old chestnut gelding out of Sweet Moselle. Kev Moses, Darren Beatman.
All right, thank you, Ian. And fourth placing goes to number 1, Public Opinion, another Queenslander. And the first 4, $1,012.30. So Crimson Rain, too good for a Lingy today, and Ian summed it up. There didn't look to be too many excuses for the beaten favourite. So I wonder what Crimson Rain does now with this new 3-week carnival, including the slipper, the 3 legs of the Triple Crown of the slipper, the size and the champagne. So if she was to back up in the champagne, that would mean she'll have to run 6 days later, Crimson Rain, but perhaps she'll go back to Queensland. Maybe concentrate on the feature 2-year-old races during the Brisbane Winter Carnival, or perhaps she might be spelled and come back in the spring. That might be the case for both of those, including
in recent years. Set, they're racing. Zachy O'Dan brushed the gate on coming out. William of Oz was slow, so too Full Spec. And first away, Bello Signor working forward. Showing speed on the inside, kicking through Exalted Time, but the jockey's looking for a leader. Zachy O'Dan starting to press on inside of Bello Signor. And Little Nico's worked forward behind McBeal, just off the speed. Pipkin racing 3 deep early on the outside of Full Spec. You Little Butte on the rails. Then Furnish, followed by Belton. In the centre was On a Jeune, 2 lengths behind those. As they head out of the straight at the 1,600 metres is Mistress from Mighty Eel, and last is William of Oz. They head hillside at the 1,500 metres, and Zachy O'Dan took over, led by 2 lengths to Bello Signor. In third position on the outside was McBeal, and a further 2 lengths behind those came Little Nico, who slotted in nicely around Exalted Time. Pipkin, Potter's been able to get her 1 off the rails, and she's running in 6th position, 7 off the lead. A further 2 away, You Little Butte inside of Full Spec, and Furnish is racing wide. Then a length and a half to On a Jeune on the outside of Belton as they head towards the 1100 metre mark. Further back in the field, some 2 lengths behind those, came Mighty Eel, who's over on the outside from William of Oz, and Mistress was last. 900 left, Zachy O'Dan leads the way. The jockey had a sustained look over the left shoulder, leads by a neck McBeal to Billow Signor. There's Mighty Eel taking off. He's off around the outside, Mighty Eel. He's going up to attack for the lead. Mighty Eel will find the lead now as they come towards the 600 metres. The speed on in earnest. Then came Exalted Time, Furnish wide in the centre, Little Nico. William of Oz, full spec. She's starting to move into the action now. On her inside was Pipkin, just momentarily held up for a run from You Little Butte, followed by Honor Jeune, Belton, and Mistress dropped out 2 lengths away. Mighty Eel, a dashing ride, leads by 2 lengths from Billow Signor to the outside. Down the outer, here comes Full Spec putting in her claim with Exalted Time, and Pipkin working between horses. She got buffeted though at the 200 metres. Mighty Eel, here's Full Spec on the outside. Full Spec after Mighty Eel with Billow Signor. Pipkin diving back to the inside of these. Still Mighty Eel in front. Pipkin chasing with Billow Signor. A driving finish. Billow Signor won it. Billow Signor a short half head to Mighty Eel, and a head away third Pipkin, and a neck away fourth Full Spec from Little Nico. And close up in a line we had Honor Jeune, Exalted Time, Belton and Zachy O'Dan. What a race from You Little Butte, followed by Mistress, then McBeal. Disappointing from Furnish with William of Oz. Billow Signor in the last stride for Claire Lindop and Eric Musgrove. He won this race last year with Chase Harry. He should prevail by a short half head. Number 3. He's had 3 flat runs for his new stable, the Musgrove stable. And he did trial over the hurdles here back on the 5th of April. And no doubt set for a hurdling career, but he was primed today after his last start Mornington victory. He'll grab Mighty Eel. What a dashing ride by Jared Lorenzini, who rode 4 winners yesterday at Penola and a winner earlier today. He was off around them. He thought they were playing cat and mouse. He tried to teach them a lesson, and he's gone under so narrowly. It was a great ride by Lorenzini. He has moved the winner a little bit wider. Full Spec. She's almost back. Pipkin was a great run. Got held up a little bit before the corner. Got through. She'll probably run third from Full Spec, and nothing beaten too far. So Australia's leading female jockey, well, to my mind anyway, Claire Lindop, the most winningest female jockey this season, undoubtedly. Claire Lindop comes back on Billow Signor, the victor of the Onkaparinga Cup.
Okay, we'll just stand by for confirmation of the numbers on race 6 at Oakbank. Eric Musgrove, the winning trainer. He's got Risky Venture lining up in the Great Eastern Steeplechase at Oakbank. Eric won the hurdle earlier today, the Yalumba hurdle, when Karazi got the money. Now he's won the Onkaparinga Cup, and Risky Venture's a very good chance in the steeplechase, so it might be a big day for the Musgrove camp. Race 6 Caulfield, they're heading around to the start. Diamond Jake is all the rage at $1.90. Still no officials at Oakbank, so let's go back to Caulfield. Here's Andrew.
Matt, Diamond Jake very short on the tote. It is favourite on track, but it is.
As we take you to Caulfield for the Brighton Handicap.
Signal racing. Left in a pretty good line too. On the inside, Après Ski first out with Dane Storm and Dueling and Casino Boy, and further out Fubu too. Diamond Jake just off them in the early point, followed by Grey Rising, a length and a half Pentathlon. 2 to Power and Rhythm, and last of all is NZ up the back of the track at the 1400. And the leader is Dane Storm, nearly a length in front. Fubu 2 goes up second. Third is Dueling from Casino Boy, fourth. 2.5 further back Diamond Jake. On the inside of it then Après Ski, 2.5 to Grey Rising, followed by Pentathlon. Outside it a length then to the inside Power and Rhythm, and 2 to NZ last of all. Inside the 1200 over the top of the hill, Dane Storm a length in front. Fubu 2 was second. 2.5 to Dueling on the outside of it, Casino Boy. 2.5 to 3 further back than Après Ski. Inside Diamond Jake running sixth. A length and a half Grey Rising. 1 further back Power and Rhythm. 3/4 Pentathlon, NZ last of all at the 1,000 metre mark. Down the side and Dane Storm a half in front of Fubu 2. Casino Boy is third. Fourth the inside Dueling. 2 further back Diamond Jake. The inside Après Ski a length into Grey Rising. Pentathlon is urged along now, making some ground between runners. A length and a half to Power and Rhythm, and last of all is NZ. Coming to the 650 metre mark, and Dane Storm's a half in front of Fubu 2. Dueling's dropped off. Third in the moment is Casino Boy. Diamond Jake goes to fourth, and further back Après Ski.